Give me my theme music!
What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Russ Dornish. And before we get started, of course, make sure you hit that like button on this video and are subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. We had 100 subscribers in the last 24 hours. So I appreciate all of the support, all of the love. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Appreciate you, Northside buddy. How's it going? Before we get into the topic of the show, we're going to be talking about Byron Leftwich officially being named to the staff at Colorado. And East Coast Kev gets it. We have a ton of stuff to discuss overall. So appreciate you guys dropping by. Thank you so much to all of the people that support this channel on a regular basis. One thing I want to talk about, yesterday's video, I posted a video talking about Coach Prime's tweet about Coach Niblett and what his role could be if he's going to be joining the staff, whatever. I got a bunch of stuff or some comments from some people that, of course, were like, you know, way to jump the gun on that, all this stuff. The purpose of it was to show Coach Prime's tweet and to talk about who he was and why that tweet was important. Could it have materialized into something? Could it still materialize into something? Yes. Okay. But a little bit to tell you guys, I told a couple people about this. Part of the problem is there are some YouTube channels out there that only become popular because all they ever post is clickbait. And I'm not trying to be a clickbait channel. I don't want to become that. But when things start moving, when it comes to news, if you want your channel to be successful, to grow, for people to find the channel, the YouTube algorithms go off of catchy titles, catchy thumbnails, you know, things that push, I think, the envelope when it comes to news just a little bit. So I wanted to explain that to some of those people who were very confused or not loving the fact that, you know, those things just happened. So I wanted to start off the stream with that, guys. Just to let you know, I am going to be also making a donation to the Colorado program. I will post it when I do to social media and to the YouTube channel for the video yesterday that technically has somewhat gone viral talking about the other coach. I want to show you guys there's a point that I do this, okay? I do it because I love to do it. I do it because I love to chat about Colorado football. I am not an official, like, media credentialed news source yet. So I have a little bit of different background on things that I can say, what I can talk about, what we can talk about as a community. So I wanted to throw that all out there. I appreciate all you guys for the support and love on the video and what it, covered and how it's supporting myself and this channel as well. But without further ado, let's, of course, jump into it because we want to talk about the bigger news, the more important news, the most exciting news of the day. And that is, of course, the addition of Byron Leftwich to the staff. You guys are already going off in the chat about this. Absolutely loving it. Northside coming in hot. See you putting together all-star staff. It was already the all-star staff before that happened. It was already the all-star staff. Hey, buddy, applied for a job at CU today. What position are you looking at over at CU? Let us know. Love to know more about that. What up, King John? What up, Jones? After game, Coach Leftwich's hire is to put Coach Shermer on notice to start calling more complex and creative plays. Well, I think after the game, I think that you hire a person like Byron Leftwich to work in conjunction with Pat Shermer as well. You know, they can work together with the OC experience that they have, with the quarterback experience that they have. All of that stuff can be worked up together, and it's only going to make the program stronger. So absolutely love it. Absolutely. What's his job like, quarterback coach? My assumption is quarterback coach, quality control, assistant offensive coordinator. There's a lot of things. We don't know the specifics, but it's going to be tied, as we saw in yesterday's Well Off, which, by the way, I'm going to show you guys a little bit later on if you missed the clip, where Byron Leftwich was in the video clip talking to the quarterbacks, had a play call sheet in his back pocket. That's when I immediately knew, okay, this is official. It's happening. Obviously today, Coach Prime and the team posting an actual video of them introducing him to the team. So it is official, but that's where it's at. Appreciate you, Lady C, as always. Corey Stepp with Leftwich, our offense should be better. I swear if I see a hitch or tunnel screen, I am turning it off. Lil Bucket, the GOAT, pro staff. I wonder who the defensive addition will be. Do we mean player or do you mean coach? Because we still probably do need an extra linebacker coach. That's the one position I feel like we could extend and make a little bit bigger, but we'll have to see what that looks like. We need to replace technically George Helo's spot on the team last year, which was defensive analyst / assistant linebackers coach. He's now the edge room coach. So that could be another position that we look to fill at some point, but we'll have to see what that looks like. After the game, it's more to get Coach Leftwich back to the NFL, I think, because he's sure to have been already. Yeah, and we'll talk about that. You guys need to realize this is a short-term gig unless he becomes the OC, but most likely this is a one-year deal, guys. Even Juju Lewis's dad said that it's probably a one-year stop to be able to work with a guy like Byron Leftwich. He had head coaching interviews for the NFL this past year, guys. If you think that Byron Leftwich is going to be in college for more than a year, you're probably surely mistaken. The fact is that he needs to go somewhere. No OC jobs formulated. No head jobs came together. So why not do a stopgap? Wow, I can't speak. Stopgap and join Coach Prime's staff, work with them for a year, and then go after one of those NFL jobs again next year. Okay? Next year. Okay. Schumer probably leaving for another coaching job. Leftwich going to be a one-year situation. Yeah, that's where we're at too. It's private, but interviewed, not applied. Okay. We'll be interested to hear more if you can share more later on. Absolutely. Shermer gone after season. Byron up next. Most likely Pat Shermer leaving next season, so there's going to be a smooth transition. Absolutely could be Russ. The T you know and what you stand for. Don't let negativity stop you grinding. I'm not going to. I just wanted to let everybody know. I'm always there for defending myself, if I'm being honest. So that was the whole purpose of doing all that stuff and talking about it. But hey, that's where we're at. I think that Gainesville coach become the next OC. It very well could be. Again, I still think that Prime's... Okay, we have to talk about the Prime is very formulated in what he does. Can we not all agree on that? He is very controlled in what he does. So to tweet out about the coach from Gainesville in the way that he did when he had tons of other coaches he could have tweeted out about there, I still think that there is some smoke there. And I think that year down the road, we may be coming back to my video to say, hey, there was something to that tweet when it originally happened. It just took some time to materialize. I could see something like that happen in the future for sure. CU is an audition for former players that want to coach in CFB that don't want to go through the traditional route, which is super cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. I've never seen a coaching staff that looks like this. This is insane. Like the Adventures team on a new level. Absolutely love it. Appreciate you, Ali. Thank you so much. It's been a great 24 hours, though. Like I said, great 24 hours. So let's get into who Byron Leftwich is. Now, I think most people know generally who Byron Leftwich is, but I want to really dive into who Byron Leftwich is, okay? So let's talk about Byron Leftwich, okay? Obviously, his playing career started at quarterback, played for the Marshall University team, NFL drafted in the first round, 7th overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2003. Played for the Jacksonville Jaguars for 3 years, the Atlanta Falcons for a year, the Pittsburgh Steelers for a couple of years, and also a year stint with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a player. Highlights of his career: was known for his toughness, especially during his college days at Marshall, where he famously played with a broken shin in a legendary game against Akron. Won a Super Bowl as a backup quarterback with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2008. Accumulated over 10,000 passing yards, 58 touchdowns, and a career passer rating of a 78.9. So, okay, career backup, if you want to say that, but a lot of other things to look at. His coaching career. In 2016, he was an intern with the Arizona Cardinals, after which he took over as the interim offensive coordinator for 2 seasons, 2017 through 2018. So promoted then to quarterbacks coach, and then later became the interim head coach during that 2-year stint. Then in 2019, he joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and his old coach with the Cardinals, Bruce Arians, as the offensive coordinator. Of course, was a part of the Buccaneers team and Tom Brady that won the Super Bowl in the 2020 season. Was credited with designing a very potent offense that maximized Tom Brady's strengths at the end of his career. Now, a little bit more about his coaching and what that kind of looked like, guys, okay? So obviously his Tampa Bay Buccaneers era was his most successful time coaching. 2019 season managed a high-power passing attack with Jameis Winston. So don't forget, he was there before Brady. Winston led the NFL in passing yards under Leftwich with 5,109, but also threw 30 interceptions. If you remember, of course, Jameis Winston had some decision-making errors, okay? The OC was very good. The scheme was good, got Winston a lot of yards. He just made some bonehead plays that led to all those interceptions, so I don't really put that on the OC there. But overall, absolutely imperative and good, okay? So 2020, of course, Tom Brady comes in. Leftwich adapts the offense to blend both Arians' aggressive downfield passing system with Brady's precision short to intermediate passing game that he was well known for with the Patriots. This combination helped the Buccaneers, of course, win the Super Bowl that season. Tampa Bay's offense ranked 3rd in scoring and 7th in yards. Leftwich was a crucial role in designing creative red zone packages and effectively utilizing weapons like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Rob Gronkowski. So be aware of that. He is a big-time red zone guy, so he very well could have a very big part to play when it comes to what he does in the red zone for this offense with Pat Shurmur. Now, his coaching style and philosophies: aggressive play calling, known for emphasizing vertical passing concepts, especially with quarterbacks. Showed flexibility by blending his head coach Arians' no risk, no biscuit philosophy with Tom Brady's methodical, quick release style. Leftwich's calm demeanor and ability to connect with players earned him a ton of respect in his locker rooms, making him a player's coach and one that is very, very exciting to have on the staff. So that is Byron Leftwich in a nutshell, to let you know kind of what his mantra is, what his experience is, what offenses he's been a part of, and how that might be blended in with Pat Shurmur's offense for this upcoming season. Again, we don't know his official title for the team, but we do know that he is officially a part of the staff, and Coach Leftwich is going to be a big part about it. Okay. So what else do we got here? Let's talk about the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this hire, what your thoughts are, and what is going on. Yeah, man, sometimes it takes the school long to say something, and then it should. But if you watch some of those well-offs, you will see him. It's just crazy that Coach Prime and them, they control the media. They control what is going on. And when they show something in a well-off video, it's going to go viral, so to speak. And guess what? They know that. They do that stuff for a reason, okay? They do that stuff for a reason. I don't see a high school head coach becoming OC at a Power 4 football team without college experience. Here's the thing. That guy is not just some high school coach. I'm just saying that, just throwing that out there. He's put in his time, is all I'm saying. There's absolutely some smoke. Neely wouldn't have put the Gainesville coach in the video if it wasn't approved by Coach Prime. And he put them in multiple times. He was in that video over and over again. And then the tweet, something is going on there. And that is why I brought it up in that video. I did not say that he was for sure on the staff. I said he very well could be joining the staff, and who knows what position. Let's figure that out. But that's where we're at there. The Gainesville coach and Pat run the same offense. It's more polished offense than Pat. He runs the ball more in a spread offense style. And don't give a damn, I agree. Byron, better OC than he ever was a football player. Where is Michael Welsh, and why is he not running the ball on or off the field? I'm not sure, but we can't get into those things, guys. That's the one thing we can't say. We have got, by the way, guys, full access to this team. And yet time and time again, we will go weeks where we're like, where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? We've got to be patient with that stuff and let things play out. The team will let us know about players when they let us know. I think he's injured right now. There you go. Mike on the field. You tell him to run the ball better. Coach Dre, I think people have to remember the well-off, reach the people, and the pregame are always and mediums that Coach Prime uses to communicate to the world. Very Nick Saban-like when he used a medium to talk to his players. Absolutely, I get that too. I think the Gainesville coach is more about recruiting, but you never know. Very well could be. Very well could be about that. We'll see. We'll see. Coach Gates, best high school coach that was there. He a Texas boy, Fort Worth to be exact. We breed greatness. I've been saying that Prime puts out what he wants you to know. So when they showed him yesterday, I knew it was, but I think this has been in the works. Oh, it absolutely has been. Now, this is the funny part. Don't give a damn. This fan base is detectives for real. And Coach Prime knows that at this point. At this point, Coach Prime knows that we are going to be detectives with those videos. Bucky has learned enough to keep things out of the videos, okay? So the fact that Byron Leftwich was constantly in the video yesterday, they knew they were going to announce this. They really, really did. Coach Leftwich might be gunning for a CFB head coaching position with a perennial powerhouse. This might be his audition like Falk. This is an audition. Yeah, either way, guys, we need to realize this is a short-term gig for Leftwich, okay? He literally was interviewing for head coaching jobs in the NFL. This is a short-term stay for him and what he's going to bring to this team. The fact is that we get the benefit of having him around for a year to work one-on-one with the quarterbacks, to talk with them. Hey, to bring some of that wisdom that he learned while under Tom Brady, I should say, or above Tom Brady, whichever one you want to say. Let's be honest, Tom Brady at that point in his career was probably also a player coach himself. So he learned probably a lot from that. That is an absolute huge, huge aspect and piece to have him for this. I would love for him to be there. Hey, that's a dream, Corey. That's a dream. To have him here for 2 years would be an absolute dream. I get it, though. I really do. I really do get that. Yep. You guys get it, though. You really, really do. We're going to be fine. Let's just enjoy the ride as it stands. Enjoy the ability to have a guy like Byron Leftwich on the squad. Because, guys, we are filling in a gap in the college football world that just doesn't seem to be there. And it's just unbelievable what Coach Prime does on a daily basis. When he said he had coaches coming, he truly did. Now, Leftwich wasn't the only coach ad. Again, I talked about it in my video yesterday. If you watched the Niblet video, Corey Nelms named new strength and conditioning coach on staff. Mind you, he's not the head. Okay, that's Andrew Swayze, but Corey Nelms joined the program. Okay, he was a track star at Miami, has worked for track and field at Texas, Oklahoma, Miami. He has a lot of good parts to his game. Going to be a huge aspect. You saw him speak on Well Off yesterday. One of the videos, I get them all mixed up, but one of the videos yesterday, they actually had him speaking to some of the players, and you could hear just some of the tidbits and information that he was giving them as far as working hard. Absolutely loved what he had to provide to the players. If you can push yourself every single day, that gets easier and easier because your body adjusts to that level and you can continue to push yourself to a higher level. Absolutely huge get there. And then, like I said, the other addition that we have on the team that I talked about yesterday is, of course, we have another defensive line assistant coach that I want to point out here. And, of course, that is going to be Coach Dante Carter. Dante Carter joining the program to be a part of it as well. So a lot of additions, and I have this weird deep down feeling, guys, that Coach Prime might be looking to add some more. I don't think he's done. And this is a great point. Coach Dre, you nailed it. Okay. I talked about this. I did a whole video, by the way, that not a lot of people watched about when the NCAA changed that rule and how it would affect Colorado as a program. And it has affected Colorado exactly like we thought it would. Now, it happened late in the year last year, so I don't think it was as big of a factor. And by late in the year, I mean late in the off season last year before the season started. I put out a video talking about this rule and what it would allow for. And I knew that Coach Prime would focus on adding more coaches over getting a raise. Guys, this is the biggest reason that Coach Prime has not signed an extension yet, okay? He has other things that he wants to get done and other assurances. And part of those assurances is expanding the staff size and salary that the staff would have. And so that is what we're seeing right now. You can't tell me that Byron Leftwich is probably not making some pretty good money for a non-OCDC. You can't tell me that Marshall Faulk didn't get a decent amount of money to come to Colorado to be the running backs coach. So all of these guys are getting all of these jobs, and we're expanding the staff more and more and more and more. That is coming directly from Coach Prime saying to Colorado, hey, I need money, not just for myself. I don't need that as much, but I want a much larger budget when it comes to the staff. So Coach Dre, yeah, when the NCAA limited coaches, that was picture perfect for Coach Prime to get the best staff, and that's exactly what he is doing. How you feel about the receivers? I think we need one or two more high production wideouts. I think Coach Dre's got it here. Maybe one. I think we're good. If they get two, it wanted to be a problem. From that K-State game, we need as much receivers as we can get. Lil Bucket, tell me, and everybody else tell me, how many times do you see 3 to 4 receivers go down in a single game? That's my question. Like that, you can't plan for that, okay? You can't carry 50 wide receivers because you think half of them are going to get hurt. You got to assume, yeah, you might lose 1 or 2, so you need some depth. But the other problem you're going to have is, why are receivers going to come here with a high level of talent if they aren't at least looking like they're going to start or be a part of the rotation right away without the need for injuries? That's the problem with getting too many of those. Well, don't give it in. That's a completely other issue. But yes, I totally get that's really why we lost that game. But it doesn't help that we lost Travis. We lost Jimmy. We lost Omarion. Like, that's a big deal too. Y'all got to stop thinking we're going to stack 3 5-star wide receivers and 4 5-star corners. You got to let the staff develop the players. And I like what we have on wide receivers, Stevie. I really do. I know they're young. I like the fact that they're young. Guys, we're going to have a receiving core and a quarterback in Julian Lewis who are going to develop together and move up the ranks. You know how scary Colorado's going to be in a year or two? Like, they're going to compete this year. But how scary is this team going to be in Julian Lewis's sophomore, junior season? You guys tell me, because that's going to be an absolute big part of it. Gearhead, most likely going to move from a 4-receiver chuck and duck system to 3 and a tight end. We should have more than enough good players sitting on the bench waiting for a chance. And that's a great point too. I think the offense will evolve compared to what it was last year. I don't think it's going to be that same exact, 5 wide, empty backfield or, empty sets, like whatever that looks like. We're going to see a lot more 2 tight end, one tight end, maybe 2 running backs. We'll throw that in and make it mix up, throw a joker in there, so to speak, with a Gibson or a Farrakhan or any of these other players. There's a lot of stuff that they have to work with when it comes to game makers, game breakers, just all of that. Playmakers are going to be huge for this team. More of a safety blanket, I say, getting sophomore, senior wideout. The state new staff comes say a lot. Timmons can't block. No hate, just facts. Had trouble with that last year, and we just seen it last video on Well Off. And I'm noticing that Terrell Timmons is not getting as much play as some of the younger guys. I don't know if that's editing for the videos or what, but Draylon is being heavily featured right now in the ones for practice. We've seen Cam Michael rotate in a bunch. Farrakhan has been a target on a number of plays and has been heavily featured. Gibson, of course, yesterday with the huge screenplay that he took to the house, guys, like clean. It's a house call no matter what is going on, even if it's practice. Like, absolutely looking like we have some depth there, and Timmons may be falling behind on that. He really, really may. People have to understand they are going for wide this year. Yep. Bucket. We'll have JoJo, Omarion Miller, Timmons, Farrakhan, Draylon Miller, Cam Michael, Wilson, Gibson, Mathis, Harge. So you have, so who you got leaving? That's right. Early prediction on who they will be the starting free safety. See, that I don't know. I don't know what they're going to roll with. Right now, my guess is it's going to be Tafiq Bayard and Carter Stoutmeyer on the back end. Because unfortunately, Makari Vickers had that heart surgery, and we don't know how long he's going to be out for that. So something to think about there. We can't depend on Omarion Miller as he's still recovering, putting a lot of pressure on him. He'll be fine by the time the season starts, guys. He'll be fine by the time the season starts. You can't judge the whole wide receiver core off one or two players that don't look good to you. Your star kids aren't going to ride the bench and be happy. Exactly. We can't just load up and keep loading up on receivers. They want to play. They want to play. I hope that the young wide receivers can be patient, not be so quick to hit the portal, but we are talking about young men that can make serious money. I don't know. What do you all think? King John, I talked about it in my video the other day when we were talking about the spring game and the teams that are canceling because they're afraid of who's going to be sought after. Are there going to be players that leave? Yes. Are there going to be a player or two that surprise us? Yes. The way I see it now at this point is people are bought into what Coach Prime is doing. The coaching staff that he is assembling is top-notch. The ability to connect with NIL in this era for Colorado is extremely high. And I don't mean NIL like getting just a blank check. I mean like actual endorsements and exposure that Coach Prime brings. If a kid wants to go get paid somewhere else, then let him. Okay. Honestly, I'm at the point where I say, let them walk at that point. We want players here who want to truly be here, who are still going to get that money, still get paid, still be featured and all that. But if you truly would rather chase a bag at this point, then you're not buying into what Coach Prime is selling and what this program is trying to become. And it's something that really no other program can match, if I'm being honest. Michigan loaded up this year, and they loaded up simply on the back of the money they were offering. They went out and offered an insane amount of money to the top quarterback in the recruiting class, who was locked in to go to LSU, who said money wasn't going to be a factor. And then what happened? Money became a factor when they wrote a fat check that nobody could match. If that's the case and a player wants that, go for it. Okay. But I feel like we can get more out of a player who maybe isn't searching for that. I think Julian Lewis could be just as good, if not better, than Bryce Underwood. And we know deep down that Julian Lewis did not get paid $10 million cash to come to Colorado. We know that. And you guys have to agree on that part there. Does Sincere want to work? How are his grades? I wonder. Omarion had pads on today. He's been in and out of pads the last couple days. It looks like depending on the drills, they sometimes pull him out, make him take his pads off so he doesn't try to participate. That looks like what's kind of going on when it comes to him. So I think they're taking it slow with him. Had all his gear on, taking reps. I can't remember whose video. Let me go take a look. It was a couple different ones. He's been in and out, like I said, of pads. Day, no hate, but Stoutmeyer has been getting cooked 2 seasons. His safety position might be shaky one this year. Who's a depth chart for safety? Of course, Makari Vickers was going to compete for that. So maybe now, like I said, when I saw that Makari Vickers was, going through the health issues he was, I figured that now safety jumped up as far as the portal goes. So I think right tackle, safety, probably 2 positions we go after when it comes to the portal. Who are we going to want? A kid with no college film? They need to stay put. That's always a detriment to the kid. Absolutely is a detriment to the kid when that happens. Okay, well, that's one of the reasons why these kids are scared of doing spring games. That money is going to bash the rosters. That won't happen with this team, and I love it. It's Coach Prime just flashing that in front of everybody. You know what, Nebraska? You're scared about your kids leaving? You should be, because who wants to be at Nebraska? That's what I thought. What I don't understand, how is Underwood on CFB 26 when he hasn't thrown one pass? Is he in CFB 26 already? He might have signed an early NIL deal. I mean, mind you, high schoolers can do that too, guys. So not sure. Appreciate that, Bucket. Think I did see him with the pads off in that same video. Yeah, he's been in and out of that. Again, everyone, not for CU. You have to fix these schools. So I remember everyone losing their mind when players left last season, and we got a better player. So let Prime work. Absolutely. You're hitting on the head, Coach Dre. I want Sincere Brown. Trust me, Buffs News Weekly. He will be a day one starter and a great add to this program. Okay, I'll trust you on that. Heart issues in high altitude, might not see him again. We'll have to see what kind of heart issues they were, guys. So if it's blood clot related, yes, high altitude not going to be good, but doesn't mean you can't have a bad heart and live at high altitude. We'll have to see. Getting big names offer right now. Robert, I am excited too. Trust me. He's on the CFB 26 cover. Oh, well, that's fine. He can be on the 26 cover because that's not coming until next year. The kids are signing their NIL deals for CFB right now, which, by the way, the news just broke earlier today. I don't know if you guys saw it. $1,500 now to the players for being in CFB 26 plus a copy of the game. So they've over doubled the pay for all of the players. That's not a bad chunk of change to get just on the side for being a part of a video game. Haha, damn, Russ sent the Nebraska shot direct. No chaser. Hey, it's easy to dunk on Nebraska at this point. I don't care what they say. They'll brag. Their Super Bowl was beating us last year. I'll still say that that's not where anybody wants to go. Y'all, it's a different beast once you put them pads on for a real game. I get it, which is also, by the way, why I love Prime's idea of actually playing somebody in the spring game. I want pads. I want to see how our team is doing. I want to see it firsthand. Again, Bucket, why is he leaving? You have to ask those questions. I don't know this young man, so I will go with what you're saying. But again, everyone is not for us. Who we saying is getting big offers? Oh, Sincere Brown. Oh, I don't know what we're talking about there, guys. I'm sorry. So is that money going to go up every year? Because 600 was a slap in the face. My guess is, and here's the thing, guys, okay? EA was conservative last year. I think deep down they felt like they had a hit in their hands and that it was going to sell big, okay? And it did. And I guarantee you that CFB 25 has been an absolute insane cash money grab, which is why they can now raise that up because they know that they're going to do at least similar numbers. They know how much they can give. They know players were starting to grumble and say, well, you had the most successful video game ever. And we only got $600. What are you going to do about it? So 1,500 to that many players is not a small chunk of change. You got to realize, especially when you're paying that many, I could see some more negotiations start to happen in the future when it comes to the CFB football game. I don't feel confident about the D-line. That's the one place I feel most confident about. I don't feel any issues when it comes to our D-line. We've got depth there. Unless you're talking about the interior, we might add a player or two, but I think we will do just fine. Do you think it will happen with Colorado playing someone this spring under NCAA? I don't. I don't think there is enough time to plan it, and the NCAA has to approve it. I think it's a play for Coach Prime to get it in the ears of the NCAA, start some wheels moving, some motion moving with it, and make it a goal for next year's spring game. I really do. Yeah, Russ, that Nebraska light show was pretty lit. Can't even lie. They snapped on that joint. I hope CU has something like that in the future. I want that game day experience to upgrade. That's for sure. Contrary, I feel very confident on the trajectory of the D-line. Yep, same. I think a lot of people feel great. I mean, Bucket, who's sometimes negative on some of the places, says, yeah, we're good on D-line as well. Again, I'm not saying nothing wrong with what you think. Just make sure we get young men that fix what's going on. If our D-line was wrecking havoc, I'd be panicking about the O-line. We'd probably be panicking about that more. Yeah, we honestly have one of the best D-lines in the country and one of the best wide receiver rooms. I think we're up there. I don't think the best wide receiver room right now, we can say that just yet. It's too young. It's too young and too inexperienced to automatically say one of the best. But I think it is a top 25 room in the country for sure. That one I can give you probably a guarantee, even with the young wide receivers. It's been 50-50, by the way, O-line, D-line so far. I don't know what you're all worried about. I'm not worried right now, but I do want to see what the O-line could do against other opponents. I do think there's just a little bit. It's hard to show that, but in one-on-ones, it's been very interesting. One-on-one, very interesting for sure. So that's something we've been paying attention to, watching all of that. So absolutely. Yeah, we'll have to give the best wide receiver room to Ohio State. We do. Okay, when you're bringing back one of the best receivers in the country as a true sophomore, and he did what he did as a freshman, you've got to give it to them. You do. You've got to give it to them. Shirley in the house. Appreciate you dropping by, Shirley, this afternoon. Guys, we are over 400. Okay, let's get those likes up, like Lady C says, to 200 right now. Okay, let's see that move and that push right now to the 200 likes. I want to see if we can do that right now, guys. So hit that like real quick while you're in here, the 400 plus people. I can't wait for my 59 speed to do this thing this year on that D-line. Guys, by the way, BJ Green ran an official 4.7 at the Big 12 Pro Day. Number one defensive lineman for running at the time when he did that for the Big 12. Would have put him, I believe, top 10 is what I saw at the Combine. So I think BJ Green is getting drafted, y'all. I think BJ Green is going to definitely be drafted. So exciting thing for him. Congratulations to BJ. Huge to see him. I mean, he was moving. So I think he raised his draft stock today with how well he just did. Statesman, that's a big, big statement. Like, I know O shows off. I know that he's had some big moments. I'm not ready to say that yet. He's got to be on the field. He's got to stay on that field for sure. If we can pull off being one of the best receiving cores and defensive lines in the Big 12, that would be good enough for me. And I think that would be successful to put us in that Big 12 championship game. I really, really would. NFL Network all week long. That's right. I've been seeing a lot of called sacks from that D-line. For sure. And hey, think of the plays. We've seen Juju have to scramble out, not get touched, scramble out, make some amazing throws with sidearms, over like, 3/4 arm throws to get around what he was doing on the money. And that was under pressure. So I don't like what I'm seeing from the right side of that line right now. If we're being honest, okay. If we're being honest, Block Bully is going to undrafted free agent argue with your mama. We'll see. I think Sapp's words will have a lot to say about Chidoze. I think he could be a late round add to this team. Or to a team in the draft. 6th, 7th rounder. I think he might squeeze in there. I think you might be surprised on him just with what he's able to bring. Guys, I really, really do. But I do think BJ is a lock after today's showing. I really do. BJ was great today, and it made Sapp right with what he said about BJ. Sapp knows what he's saying. For the CU community to have high hopes for Omarion Miller and Timmons and sweep Twimmons under the rug. He's a senior, less you know. We have a receiving issue. Also, Coach Phil said the receivers are not running their routes correctly. I get that too. I really, really do. Sapp don't have any say on who drafts Block Bully. He doesn't have a say, but I'm sure teams will listen to him and they talk to all of the coaches when it comes to finding out more about the players. That's the normal draft process. 59 speed for all you folks that don't know is Amari McNeil 88. I don't like how Cardell Thomas looked at the Big 12 Pro Day. What's up, Buckets? I think that we have one of the best D-lines in the country, and with Juju and Caden, the team is going to be dangerous, not only for the Big 12, but in the country. Appreciate the comment, David. I would agree on that. What did Chidoze do? I don't know. I hadn't seen any numbers on him in the Big 12. Did he go to the Big 12 day? I thought he did. So you guys let me know. Bucket, I agree with you. So if we get 1 or 2, there's no problem there. Yeah, he looked very lazy and out of shape at the Big 12 there. We're talking about Chidoze. That's not good. I didn't know that part. I just know that he's a pretty darn good nose tackle. Let the Block Bully slide, and the Philadelphia Eagles will grab him and add that into the line. Could you imagine? Oh, no. Chidoze ran a 5.5? Oh, okay. I can see why that was overshadowed by BJ. BJ's big time run. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. That's kind of crazy, guys. That is kind of crazy. Okay. Robert, I can't wait. Russ, I've been waiting for a long time for us to torture teams. We are very scary. Next year is going to be even more scarier. Trust me, guys. I am going to love it. Yeah, after running a 5-5, I might be more on this case, guys. Did not realize that. Had not seen the official numbers come through. 5-5 is not going to look good. Oh, and he messed up the 3-cone drill like 3 times. What's Chidoze doing? He should be at Colorado working with Swayze, if I'm being honest. I'm wondering what he is doing out there to prep for these events. Because it seems like BJ, man, crushed it. Is definitely working his butt off. But Chidoze, what are you doing? Yeah, not a good look. Yeah. Yep. I will agree with that now, guys. I'm on that. Yeah. Well, whoever's working him out, probably not doing a good job to get him where he needs to be. Remember, players only get bigger in the NFL. Can you imagine Block Bully stronger than he is now? I think he's still going to be a good steal that you guys could get as an undrafted free agent. Somebody could get. So he's going to be on a team, but man. Why did Shane Koch scratch from the 40-yard dash at Pro Day? Must have an injury if that's the case. That's the only thing there. On Chidoze YouTube channel has been working out every day unless them videos were old, but he's been in group workouts. You got to wonder. I'm just saying, if your results aren't good, you're running that 40 to see where you're at to gauge what you need to do. You can't tell me that he ran a 5-5 at some other time and they were like, whatever. Allie, we are coming into, by the way, spring break. We are coming into spring break for the team. I don't remember when it starts. I think it starts here at the end of the week. So they probably have a practice or two left this week, and then you might see them gone for a little bit of time. Just talking about that. Real talking of all the CU YouTubers, I feel your show is the best. Ron, I appreciate that. Strictly talking about CU, what's going on with them. Keep up the good work. You're going to go far in this industry. That warms my heart, and I needed that today. Appreciate it, Ron. Appreciate you and the nice comments here. I want this to grow. I want this to be something that I can be proud of and continue to be proud of. And as I move to the Boulder, Longmont area here this summer, I'm hoping that my ability can stand out and, this could be something bigger. We'll see. Appreciate that, though. How is Block Bully running that slow of a 40 time after playing in high altitude? Not good. Well, altitude is more for distance running. Don't give a damn. Not short distance running. So you're not going to gain speed by going to sea level. It's more about distance. You can run further, not faster. Could be a decent pickup for the Eagles, undrafted free agent, because of the line of their other DTs. And it would allow him to get, let him develop a little bit more. Appreciate you, King John. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Coach Dre. Friday's the next practice. So Wednesday, we'll get 2 days off. We'll get Friday on practice. That's true. Great interaction with the chat. I love chatting with you guys. That's part of what makes this thing work. It's like a radio show where you guys call in through the chat and we get to hear your comments. He'll fix everything for Colorado's Pro Day. I hope so. He's going to need a good showing there. Shane was mentioned at Pro Day, so if he never planned to run, his name would not have been on the screen. I think this is Russ's niche, interacting with the chat like this. No other show does that. The funny thing with that, King John, one thing that I loved about DNVR for the longest time is a lot of their shows were comment-based. Like, they were all about reading the comments, and I still give them props for that, because no other show at DNVR for any of their other sports interact with the comments like the DNVR Buffs show did. So I saw that and was like, okay, this is what the people want. They want to be a part of it. They don't just want to be, talked at all the time. They want to be a part of that conversation and be, part of what goes on. So that's why the show is formatted the way it is. I didn't know. A little over 20 years. What are we talking about there? Not sure. BJ messed up the 3-cone drill twice, as well as everybody needed to go to Coach Swayze after today. Watch Justin Mayer and Shiloh kill it. Shiloh, watch his going to kill it with Swayze. Someone will pick Chidoze late in the draft. He's an anchor with high football IQ. He's small in stature, but he has long arms to help. We'll have to see. I think he moves towards the end of the draft, if not undrafted free agent. He definitely didn't help himself today, that's for sure. So we'll have to see how bad that hurts. And if I'm being honest, the one thing I can say is we can always overestimate because there are players, because we know Colorado, because we follow Colorado. There was times last year where we thought more players would get drafted. We thought Zay would get drafted, and he didn't. So we could say right now, we think 6 or 8 guys could get drafted, and only 3 end up getting drafted just because that's the way the draft works sometime. There's always surprises when it comes to who gets drafted and who doesn't get drafted. So we'll have to see, what happens with that. We don't have much longer to wait. It's going to be very interesting. I will cover the pro day with you guys. We can watch some of it together, back and talk about it, analyze what's going on when that happens, some of the clips and things that go on, talk about where it might help or lower the draft stock. That might be one where I need to get David Talks Buffs on and maybe another person. We can all chat about the draft and kind of what it's looking like for Colorado players. So that might be something you might see in the upcoming future. Again, hitting that like button. We're over 400 people in the chat. No clue where we're at as far as likes go. Somebody let me know where we're at. But let's get to 200 likes. I think we can do it. I know we can do it for this video. So appreciate you guys so far on this and being a part of the stream. It's been a lot of fun today. Let's see what else you guys got. Get your questions in. Let's finish up with some questions, and then we'll call it a day here coming up in the hour mark. So you guys let me know. OFB, it's gold jackets out there. Peoples who didn't run in the 4s at Block Bully's position. Agreed. It's not all about speed for that position for sure. Does Coach Prime like Texas players over Georgia and Florida? I don't know. I mean, we got a ton of Georgia kids, guys, and we got a ton of Florida kids. I think he likes all 3 states evenly and would take any from either of those 3 states. Why people get upset when someone says a CU player is going undrafted? I think it's the connection to it. Don't give a damn. That's what I was saying. We have a different connection to the players than a normal non-CU fan does, so they just want to see that happen. Yeah, chat interaction's great. Also, you never get sensitive about comments. No, you guys can say whatever you want. You guys want to say I suck, you can say I suck. That is your opinion. You're entitled to it, and I am always happy to deal with those opinions. And I love opposing fans coming into the chat as well. It's always fun when I see that happen. Travis Shador, Tay, only ones I see getting drafted. So, yeah, Lil Bucket's got the only 3. Like I said, that could very well happen. Half the team hurt. This didn't happen under Coach Mo. It's also the very beginning of spring, guys. Very beginning of spring. There's a lot happening. Hey, don't give a damn. Please don't speak to them ladies crazy, bro. Show them respect. Okay, what did he say? I'm not even going to. Oh, we'll keep going. Ron, your interaction with us makes the show great. You're good with hearing our questions and opinions. I appreciate that. It's like I said, it makes the show easy. You try just talking to just a screen for 1 hour, not easy. Talking to a screen and then talking to you guys for a bunch of the show helps everything go a lot quicker and a lot better. I wonder how many really good and great former NFL players want to coach. I'm sure there's a lot. And what I loved seeing today, by the way, was Shady McCoy's comment when Byron Leftwich took this job and Marshall Faulk took the job. He said that there are more ex-players that need to get into coaching, and Coach Prime is a great outlet for that. So I definitely see more of those guys coming along. The connections that Coach Prime has to the NFL, the connections he'll continue to have, he will always have an open door to ex-NFL players who want to give coaching a shot. And that's an awesome sight to see. I also don't think that they're finished with the big name coach. I don't either. I think there's more to come. Statement. You suck at being bad at your job. See what I did there? I love it. You get the comment of the day. Statesman wins the funny joke comment of the day. Oh, absolutely love it. King, it's a lot of them, bro. Was trying to keep them out for a long time. Now they can't. I'm still waiting on Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, guys. I'm still waiting on Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. You want to talk about a fan base and a world of football that would explode if an Ed Reed and a Ray Lewis showed up at CU somehow. I would love to see it. I don't know if it's going to happen. I feel like it would have happened by now. And the fact that Ray only called in, it wasn't in person. The fact that Ed came in person made me feel a lot better about that. Who knows what'll happen with that? Oh, this is a good question. And I want everybody in the chat, or if you're in the comments afterwards, let me know. Who do we think is the absolute best hire of the entire offseason thus far? Okay. Who do we think? Oh, man, that is a tough one. That is a very, very, very tough one. And I think, you know what? I think I know how to do something that we're going to do here in the chat. Let's see. Ooh, I don't remember. I'm going to have to look into it because I need to figure out how to do some polls, because that is a great question. I'm going to have to go with, just because of what happened last year and because of how bad they were, I'm going to say Marshall Faulk is the best hire of the season. The running back's not gaining the yards. I know that they need blocking. Absolutely, they need blocking. But I think that having him as a running back coach will probably be one of the best. Let's hear what you guys have to say. We got a lot here. Of course, I do think this is going to happen as well. I do. Okay, so Lil Bucket says Coach Swayze's the best hire. Coach Dre with Swayze. Let's see. Falk. Gerard from Statesman. Another Falk. Coach Swayze. Ali. I like it. The Livingston extension. Gerard. We got 2 for Gerard. Another Falk. Another Gerard. Coach Gunner. We got hard work coming in. He's liking the Gunner White hire. Absolutely. Let's see. Gerard, hands down. Line is terrible. Oh, you got some good ones in here, guys. Jeanette with Marshall Falk. Lady C with Coach Swayze and Falk. Northside, Marshall said, as the O-line goes, so do the running backs. I love it. When you think they're going to put Lil Wayne on the coaches list? There we go. Robert Mathis, another Gunner. Jeanette, Coach Dre, hello. Let's see. The AD said first day conditioning was a problem. No way an AD should tell a team that Coach Swayze is the best hire. That's a good one, Allie. I know. And Marshall Falk. So really high up there with Swayze, Falk, Gerard, Gunner. Those are the 4 I think that are being mentioned the most. I think you can't go wrong with any of them. I mean, and what's great is nobody really saying until just now the Leftwich hire. I think Leftwich is a cherry on top of the amazing chocolate sundae that Coach Prime has just put together. You know, we've got all the toppings. Byron Leftwich is that cherry on top. He is just something extra sweet that is there to make this program that much better and more desirable. And man, you've got to admit that I'm sure Julian Lewis, his dad, everybody who said he was making a mistake is thinking a little bit differently now that Byron Leftwich is in the fold. Only reason running backs didn't gain many yards because they only averaged 10 or 12 carries a game. That is also true. Russ, giving us an early prediction for Georgia Tech game. I mean, this is crazy to be doing in March, but because you asked, I will give, I'm going to say 32-24. Colorado wins. 32-24. 32-24. That is my absolute way too early, way too crazy score prediction for CU Georgia Tech next fall. Opening game. We still got months to go. Will Prime hire more assistants or more head position coaches? I think he will hire more assistants. I think we've got 1 or 2 more coming. I really do. I think 1 or 2 more is coming. Yeah, that Leftwich hire is pretty fire. We need an award for all of our coaches. What can it be called? Don't mention. Oh, absolutely love it. Do you think Juju knew they were potentially hiring Leftwich? I'm sure he was left in the know about that. I'm sure it was talked about. My guess is Coach Prime probably talked to Leftwich at the end of the season and probably said, hey, here's what I got open for you. You know, I know that you're going to go interview for some NFL jobs. You're going to see what's out there. Take your time. There's no rush. The position will always be there for you. Probably let Juju know, say, hey, we talked to Leftwich. He might be coming in. We'll see what happens. And then as the jobs kind of dissipated for Leftwich, I think that's when this all came about. Now he's here in Boulder, ready to go, ready to show these young kids what they can do. Need to see who we get in that spring portal. Oh, yeah, no, trust me. That's why I said it's way too early. That's literally a crazy out of left field prediction on that score. I don't see them giving us. I don't see us giving up 24. Robert Mathis saying 28-31, winning by a field goal. We get blown out by Georgia Tech game. To be honest, we're gonna have some things to straighten out. Northside, I'm holding you to that. If we win that game or in it, I'm coming back to you on you saying it was going to be a blowout. We need to ditch the receiver system, use tight end, see what happens. Better O-line, quarterback that can run should help. Yeah, it's going to be a completely different offense, guys. It is going to be a completely different offense. I'm telling you, just look at what's going on in practice already. Tons of rushing, okay? Screens to the running backs. Tight ends have been heavily involved in practice, guys. I'm telling you, just use your eyes and see what the coaches have been showing you in practice so far, and you can already see that the offense is very different from what it was the last 2 years. I'm holding you, Northside. I'm holding you to it. I don't know if that D-line can get the penetration that we were expecting. Georgia Tech is not winning that game. Yeah, Georgia Tech, by the way, their defense is going to have some issues. Georgia Tech going to be very physical game in the trenches. That Georgia Tech strengths O-line better get ready. Which one left? Because I did a Georgia Tech deep dive early in the offseason, and I can't remember one of the two, either their O-line or their D-line lost a lot. So one of the sides of the ball lost a ton and didn't make up for it. So that's something we're going to have to look at. Again, we'll dive in as the game gets closer and we can actually look at personnel, guys. I think this was in the works with Leftwich. Thought he would get an NFL job. When he didn't happen, Prime said, okay, bro, come to see you. I'll get you back to that NFL. Yep, agreed. Georgia Tech run the same offense as NDSU, just better and bigger players. Are we sure about that? Do they have a quarterback as good as Cam Miller? You got to remember, that game was close because of how amazing Cam Miller was in that game. Okay? And I don't know if Georgia Tech quarterback is going to be as good as Cam Miller was. Okay? That's just where I'm at. At quarterback's a runner two, Hayes or whatever his name is. Do you think the Island pipeline is opening up? I think Southern California Island for sure with Pecco. Be very interested to see what happens over the next several months here. NDSU's number 7 was on some. Can we dream of an 11-1 season or am I dreaming? I mean, you can always dream. Dream big, guys. Dream big. Dream big. I'll never shoot down people's dreams. We'll have to see what happens. I still need to see what this roster is going to look like going into the summer and going into the fall. I really do. Hayes King is another running back, very similar to Notre Dame, just not as physical as them, but very similar. Georgia Tech's offensive scheme should not be taken lightly. They're very creative. Now, that part they do have. That I agree with. They are very creative. They've always been very creative. So, yes, very similar system to what we saw from NDSU and the creativity. My question is, do they have the playmakers to make us pay that much when it comes to that? It's going to be a lot of patience. It's going to be a lot of, doing your jobs, matching our scheme correctly. When it comes down to just straight playmakers, we've got them beat. That game was close because Shador got cute trying to help Jimmy. 4-0 start is what you're expecting. Hey, I would say I'm pretty close to that. For sure, we better be, 4-0. I'd say 4-0, 3-1. We'll see. We definitely better beat Delaware and Wyoming. That's all I'm at. Delaware, Wyoming have to be wins. Pecco seems like a nice guy. However, I like cussing fiery D-line coaches. It's entertaining. Lol, I'm sure he's a good coach. No shade. Well, and that's why Sapp's there. That's why some of the other guys are there. They each play their different roles. Yeah, Pecco is a player's coach, a connection coach. That's why they have multiple coaches work in that room. I get what they're trying to do. You got the good cop, bad cop going on in that room right now. The Georgia Tech podcast said that we're in rebuilding stage. I can't wait for us to prove them wrong. I know. I saw that. I absolutely laughed. Again, I've talked about it ad nauseum. People think that because Shedeur and Travis left that we are going to somehow just be an absolute horrible team because we have nothing left. The fact is that we are going to be a better team than we are going to be a team of better players, if that makes sense. Goes along with what Coach Prime has always said. So that's where he's at. Only ran the ball last year. Our advantage is that high altitude. I can't trust that. What's it called, Robert? What's the podcast called? I'm sure people want to go watch and comment on that video really nicely. They lost to Georgia in 8 overtimes. They're physical. I'm nervous. That was last year. You got to remember the roster changes. They did lose some players. They lost their number one receiver. I know that they got a pretty good receiver in the transfer portal, but you cannot not say that that's going to affect them. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. You're going off of last year, guys. You're going off of last year. And if we go off of last year, then we're not going to win a lot of different games this year. Northside, though, is saying we're going to go undefeated in conference play. So we're going to go undefeated in conference play, but we're going to get blown out by Georgia Tech. Is that correct, Northside? Do I have you on record for that? I don't know if Georgia Tech will be as disciplined as NDSU, but they should have more talent. I don't know, Russ. Last year, I couldn't tell if the altitude was an advantage. We didn't use it as a correct advantage, but look at the comebacks. Look at the Baylor game. Look at those games that we were able to come back at the end of the game. You may not have noticed it completely, but those drives were not easy to keep up with the team, and a lot of that has to do with the altitude when you get to fourth quarter. That's where it's at. They didn't lose a lot in the trenches. A lot of returners. Northside, okay. Undefeated in conference. You guys are hearing it first here. You can hold Northside accountable next year. Blown out by Georgia Tech, but undefeated in conference play. I like it. I'm going to be interested to see what happens. Okay, guys, that is going to do it for today's show. We are at 1 hour. Appreciate you guys so much for coming in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like and, of course, be subscribed to the channel. We had over 100 subscribers in the last 24 hours, so I appreciate you guys so much. We will have more for you probably this weekend, maybe. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated again. Make sure you're following us over on the social media if you have it. Buffs News Weekly on X. That's where I put all of the breaking news, retweets, everything else. So make sure you're there. It's when I announce shows, other things like that. Always a great place to go if you're on X. Otherwise, appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. And hey, this has been an awesome, fun time again. Until next time, for Buffs News Weekly, I'm Russ Dornish. Go Buffs!